The U.S. Supreme Court officially began its new term today after that blockbuster session of rulings on abortion and gun rights. The justices also welcomed the newest member, Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman on the bench. And they now gear up for yet another set of controversial cases that have the potential to dramatically transform American life. ABC's Devin Dwyer has a closer look.
I have a seat at the table now, and I'm ready to work.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson making history and bringing change to the Supreme Court at a divisive time.
I don't expect any radical change, but look, it'll matter for the public to see her on the bench, and I think it will matter as the court starts issuing opinions.
Roe v. Wade is going to go!
After major wins on abortion and gun rights, the court's conservative majority now turns to the hot-button issue of race.
This could be the term when the court said clearly that the Constitution is colorblind, and that will be a sea change in American law.
They'll decide whether Alabama's election maps violate the Voting Rights Act by diluting black voting power, and in a pair of cases determine the future of affirmative action, whether colleges can still consider race as a factor in admissions.
That's something that Chief Justice Roberts has been very strong on. His famous line, the best way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race.
The court will rule on the EPA's power to protect wetlands and on a California law banning the sale of pork from pregnant pigs kept in crates.
We would not be able to individually confine these animals for breeding like we are today.
There's also a major case on gay rights and free speech.
It has the potential to blow an enormous hole in our nation's civil rights laws.
A wedding website designer asking the court to strike down Colorado's anti-discrimination law, which she says forces her to serve LGBTQ couples.
There are certain messages I'm unable to promote through my business.
Pro-choice, that's the law! Babies never choose to die!
The new term starts as the justices face fallout over that blockbuster decision on abortion.
I had the honor this term of writing, I think, the only Supreme Court decision in the history of that institution that has been lambasted by a whole string of foreign leaders.
Justice Samuel Alito and the conservative majority now appear ready to deliver even more dramatic change as public confidence in the court hits a record low.
We like each other.
Yeah.
We do.
And I think
The justices have been trying to show unity.
And, as it's often joked, this is like a marriage. I mean, we have life 10 years, so, we get along.
But behind the scenes, sources say relations remain tense on the court.
What happened at the court is tremendously bad.
Who leaked that draft opinion on abortion is still an apparent mystery. A report on the internal investigation is expected as soon as this month. And into the fray steps Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, marking the first time 4 seats on the court will be filled by women.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Vogue magazine giving Jackson the spotlight last month with portraits taken at the Lincoln Memorial. But it's senior conservative Justice Clarence Thomas who will drive many of the court's decisions in the weeks ahead.
And Justice Thomas can enact many of the efforts to overturn precedents that he's been arguing for a really long time.
Our senior Washington reporter, Devin Dwyer, joins us now. Devin, it was obviously the first day of the court's term after more than 2 years of pandemic-related restrictions, and it sounds like they dove right back into work. Give us a sense of what you saw today inside the court.
Well, after all that controversy of last term, Lindsay, they were clearly taking an effort to get things back to normal, at least in some sense. The security fences came down. The courtroom was packed again with members of the public. Justice Jackson was in her seat at the end of the bench as the newest justice. She says remarkably active in her first oral argument as a rookie justice. She spoke more than 21 times just in the first case alone. She grilled an attorney challenging the Environmental Protection Agency's power under the Clean Water Act. And even before the cases today, Lindsay, the court took some significant action. They allowed a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit to go forward against Mike Lindell. You'll remember he's the MyPillow founder and Trump ally that made some claims about the 2020 election and voting machines. That company is suing him. The court also let stand a federal ban on bump stocks. Those are the controversial devices that can turn weapons into machine gun-style weapons. Big win for gun safety advocates there.
And, Devin, you also talked at the end of your piece about the big role that Justice Clarence Thomas now plays on this court. So is he the key vote to watch, or is there another justice we should keep an eye on for some of the critical cases coming before the court this term?
Yeah, Clarence Thomas is certainly the ideological leader of the court right now. He has a lot of influence with the conservative majority. There's no mistake about that. But it's Justice Brett Kavanaugh who's really the man in the middle. You know, last term, Lindsay, he voted 95% of the time with the majority. He was in the lead opinion in those cases. So he's the one to really watch if you want to know how a case is going to get decided. But I should say, with every new justice comes some new dynamics. We'll have to watch Justice Jackson very closely. As a liberal, she, of course, does not change the ideological makeup of the court, but her personal style, her desire to be a bridge builder could change the dynamics in some ways. We have no idea what those are, but we'll be watching her very closely as well in the months ahead.
Certainly will be. Devin Dwyer, thank you so much. Always good to have you on, as always.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.